Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Sellers Unfiltered Live with myself, James, and my fellow online seller, Paul. And if you were watching about 5 minutes ago, you will have noticed that we had a little bit of a false start, didn't we, mate?
We did. This is take two. Take two of the live, mate.
Take two. I did something and once again disappeared, just like I did on episode 1. So we binned it off and we started again, haven't we? So this week we're talking all things selling on eBay, Etsy, and Amazon, but we are specifically covering online customer service, and it's going to be a bit of a Royal Rumble this week, isn't it, mate? Between me and you.
It is, mate. I'm looking forward to it.
We are going to have a head-to-head to find out who offers the best customer service. I think you fancy yourself a little bit with this one.
I actually do. I think this is a strong point of my business. So I'm actually a little bit quietly confident on this one.
Now, I've got the board ready for the head-to-head. It looks like this. So we are going to compare all of the stats that matter when it comes to online customer service, business versus business. And you, if you are watching this back or if you're joining us live, you can play along too. So if you sell on one of those three, eBay, Amazon, or Etsy, or maybe even all three of them like we do, you can play along, have a look at your own stats, and let us know how they compare to our own. I've got a few controversial things to say this week about customer service because I think we do things slightly differently. So before we get into the show today, I want you to give me the one word that you would use to describe your online customer service. What would it be? Just what?
Sincere.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to go with expectation.
Right. Okay.
You'll see what I mean as we move through. Right. But before we get onto the main topic, we're going to go through a couple of things first that we normally do. We're going to talk about a recent change that we've noticed online. You've got another funny customer of the week this week. Then we're going to move on to my top tip before we get onto the main topic. Now, recent change. I've tried to what we're going to try and do, because we are new to this. If you are joining us, if you're new here, this is our 3rd episode, and the last couple of episodes we have said we don't know what we're doing, and because we don't, I mean, we had a false start today. So if you are new here, we do a little update every week of something that we've seen. It might not be something in the last week. It's something recent though. And we're going to try and make sure that the show is centered around the same topic throughout. So I was looking at recent updates with regards to customer service, and this one, it's not massive, but it's just a little bit interesting to me because it shows me the way things are moving. And this is an Amazon update. So this update that I've shown you now on the screen, this actually was from back in May. It's a very, very simple update, but I think it's affected our metric, and we will get onto that later when we look at our metrics. So on Amazon, mate, did you know that on Amazon you've got something called a buyer dissatisfaction rate? Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I think it's something I am aware of. I don't know too much about like in anything really, my business. But yeah, I am aware of little bits of it, but it's not something I'm too consumed about with my time.
Yeah, well, Amazon is such. If you don't sell on Amazon, you're thinking about it. It can be quite intimidating. So when you first sell on Amazon, you go into the Seller Central dashboard. It's not like Etsy or even eBay. There's so much in there, isn't there? There's so many different categories and stats and topics. You could get lost in it, couldn't you?
For hours, days, and you've just got to say to yourself, what point do I just like focus on other stuff? Because once you delve into it, it's too, and it can overwhelm you. I mean, you're in a with you and your partner doing your business. I'm just on my own, so like I've got to like think about where I'm going to spend my time. So I just focus on the basics with the Amazon.
Yeah, well, and you're right to as well, because you got to get the orders out, haven't you? First and foremost. Right, so this is the update. This is the update that happened. So, like in typical Amazon fashion, you know, it's always negative, isn't it? They're never positive. You've got to buy a dissatisfaction rate. It can't be the other way around, can it? It has to be dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
So what they do is they ask customers. Basically, how satisfied are you with your recent customer service experience? And it's moved from being a very simple yes/no answer, and now they offer a sliding scale, very very similar to reviews. So you know when they offer they've got you've got to give a review and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 stars. Very similar to that. So it's moved from a binary yes or no to a sliding scale. Since this change, this very small change happened, our buyer dissatisfaction has gone up massively. Well, there's ours there. You'll see it again later. 11.
When you say up, James, you mean
more
bad, people dissatisfied?
Yeah, because this. Well, there. Look, see there on the top. Buyer dissatisfaction rate. That's ours, 11.11. The average there is, as you can see, is 8.35. So ours has gone up, and I don't think it ever used to be that high. So I don't know whether customers are more likely to, give you a 2 or a 3, whereas back in the day when it was yes or no, they might have just said, "Oh yeah, it was fine." Does that make sense? Because I think if you get a 2 or a 3, I think it counts against you. Certainly a 2 does. But it's just worth keeping an eye on, because the more these things come in, the more scrutiny you're going to be under on Amazon. Because if it's a sliding scale, it's much well. I think there's a bigger variety, isn't there? So you can be compared to other sellers.
Yeah. Mate, before I forget, I don't want to interrupt you. Do you know what my biggest thing that annoys me most about things, when you get a review that someone says absolutely love this item, brilliant, but then they give you 4 out of 5 stars, and I'm like, well, it's not then, is it?
Well, mate, what about the ones where they say that and they give you 1 star because they've clicked the wrong button?
And then you've got to chase them and go, is that really your score for me? Is there anything I can do? And
well, here's the question though, and we're going to come on to that. Do you bother?
Yes.
Well, let's find out, because I've got some controversy. Have I lost you again, haven't I? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you've gone.
My screen's gone. Right, do you know what's happened, mate? Can you notice a difference in my picture?
No. About 20 seconds ago, it went dead bright.
Yeah, it went dead because I've got a fancy new camera and I thought it was going to make me look like Brad Pitt. But all it's doing is it's kicked me off the first live that we had an attempt at. We had to start again. And it's just turned me into, Jesus, because I was lighting up the world then, wasn't I, for a minute?
Yeah.
So I was hoping that my sound and my vision might be better. But, let's see what happens. If I disappear, I'll come straight back in.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look any different to me. That was a waste of money, wasn't it, Matt? Well, that's a 1-star review, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? The big thing.
I bought it off Amazon.
Give it a 1 star. Mate, do you know what's going to be really funny today? I'm going to give offer loads of opinions, loads of advice about customer service. We get to the end, we look at the scores, and mine's on the floor.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And because you're whenever I talk to you about customer messages, I always feel like I'm a right miserable sod, because you say to me, "Oh yeah, but I say this to them and I offer them this and I upgrade them for free, and I'm really good at customer service." You say to me, don't all the time, "I'm really good at customer service. I never leave people unhappy." I can't wait for this one.
Can I just say, the best way to explain is, when I think a customer gets in touch with you, right? I think you give a ChatGPT response where I give a human level response with spelling mistakes, grammar everywhere, and I'm telling them I love their name and I hope you're all right and all this. I give all these personal touches where you are just bang, professional.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? And if you've got any, like I say, as we're doing the head-to-head in a little while, and we're not far off it, if you want to share your stats, let us know in the comments, because I want to see how we compare, not only to you, but to other people. But talking of updates, very quickly, mate, before we move on.
Yeah.
Like that. There it is again. Breaking news. We've seen that before, haven't we? Just a few things. There are some other changes that have happened recently, customer updates. I want to touch on them very, very briefly, because I'm not sure we'll get to. There's that many changes happening at the minute. I'm not sure we'll get to talk about them again. So on Etsy, I don't know if you've noticed this week, they've added the fact that you can now put 2 videos on your listing. So when you list something on Amazon, they introduced video, 2-3 years ago, where you could upload a little video with your photos. They've now added the function where you can add 2 videos to a listing. Now we're miles behind the curve, because we haven't got 1 video on a lot of our listings. It takes so much time. We want them on there, but we're working through them. Now you can add 2. So that tells me that Etsy think videos are becoming very, very, very important. And I'm starting to think, should the first video be the product, and should the second video be like about us and our processes and how we make things? So that's something to think about, because what do you do with 2 videos? You know, what sort of things you put into a second video? Do you have videos on your listings on Etsy?
No, I haven't got the time. I'm now updating all my listing photos again, so that's my priority. Right. So I haven't got it. I'd love to, but it's just a trade-off of time and what I think's more important. That's so hard at the moment. But I think if you can, you definitely should be using videos.
Yeah, well, they say, you can have them on, I think you can have them on eBay and Amazon as well, can't you? You can put them on all 3, and all 3 of them say it increases your conversion rate. Well, it would do, wouldn't it? If the video's decent.
If you just think of it, James, how many times have you bought stuff, or I know myself, I have. I've looked at the listing, I've looked at the pictures, but when I got it, I've got something that doesn't resemble it. So when you've got video as well, you can turn it and you can move it. I think you get a better perspective of the item that you're buying. So I think it just adds another layer of trust, personally.
Yeah. I agree, mate. So that was another change I saw. And very quickly before we move on, because you've got a really funny, mate, I don't know where do your customers come from? Because you've got a really funny customer of the week again this week. But before we touch on that, when it comes to customer service, Amazon, right? A few weeks ago now, I've introduced the first. So you know all that Prime next day delivery.
Yeah.
Or they've just introduced the first get it within 2 hours delivery in the Northeast. And do you know how they're getting it there?
Go on.
Drones.
Wow.
They have now got a fulfillment centre in the northeast of England, I believe, where it's a very small area, but they're just obviously testing it, where they can offer 2 hour delivery, within 2 hour delivery of ordering. I think it's within 8 or 10 miles of the fulfillment centre. And what they do is they put the parcel on a drone and they send the drone up and it lands in your garden.
Do you know what, James? I know that is a new development, but they have been trying to find ways to implement that for about 10 years.
They have, yeah. Well, it's coming. The question for me is what happens to us, because we're using Royal Mail. And by the way, I was very close to coming up with a new feature today called Rant of the Week, and I'm going to do it 1 week. 1 week when we haven't got an update, we haven't got customer week, I'm going to have a rant.
Is this a courier related?
Well, it's going to be Royal Mail, but we'll get on to that another day. So these drones, my question is, if Amazon are offering 2 hour windows, what's going to happen to us? Because we can't get it there within 2 hours. How much are these drones worth? So what's the future going to look like for us? You know, because as you well know, if customers can get it from Amazon, they expect to be able to get it from us.
If we send the stuff into Amazon, will they send it on their drones on our behalf?
Yeah. So you can send stuff into Amazon, for those that don't know, and they will obviously dispatch it for you. That's called fulfillment by Amazon. But obviously, we sell a lot of personalized items, so we can't sell that stuff into Amazon because we have to make it ourselves, personalize it, and then send it. So it's just worth keeping an eye out on what's going to happen, because talking about customer service, customers are getting more demanding, aren't they? Because the service and the quickness of the deliveries are going, through the roof on Amazon. So that's something else that they're doing now. Just something else that we have to worry about. Right, let's move on. Customer of the week, mate. You've briefly told me about this one. Go on, tell us what happened.
Right, so it was about 9 o'clock at night, and I'm chilling. I'm watching a film with my son. I'm watching Iron Man, and I get a phone call, and it comes on my mobile phone, the number, and it says the call's from Ireland. Now we have a mutual friend, Irish Tommy. Right,
Irish Tommy,
and that is the big shout out to Irish Tommy.
Now, you've upset Irish Tommy this week, haven't you?
He's left the group. He's not happy.
Just a very quick side note: if you've never seen, what's it called, mate? Road Bowls in Ireland, on Facebook, have a little look. It'll blow your mind. Tommy's.
What a sport, by the way. But that's another side. What a sport!
Right, come on, back to it.
So anyway, it can only be Irish Tommy. Only know Tommy from Ireland. So I've answered it and gone, Tommy, you all right, mate? You okay? And it wasn't my friend Irish Tommy. it was a very confused elderly man that's trying to purchase an item from myself using Amazon.
So it was an Amazon customer.
It was an Amazon one, and then it went quickly downhill because then I got all worried and panicked, and I was like, because as you well know, James, you can't get in contact with customers on Amazon. It's a massive no-no, and they can't get in touch with you, and you don't want to. And I understand it and I respect that rule. So, but the funny thing, he said he's having trouble purchasing it, so he's been on the phone to Amazon for like an hour trying to purchase my item. And in the end, Amazon had just passed my phone number to the customer and and let him contact me. And then he's so confused. He doesn't know how to customize the item and everything like that. He's a little bit frustrated. So this at 9 o'clock. So anyway, I help him as much as I can without breaking any rules or policies. And then
that's a tricky one, isn't it? And just for anyone who's about to start selling on Amazon, you need to know this. Like you said, Paul, and it's the same on eBay. Etsy's a little bit more relaxed, but definitely eBay and Amazon, you're not allowed to talk or email or have any communication with the customers outside of eBay messages and Amazon messages. So for Amazon to give him your phone number, they're breaking their own policy, which obviously they do all the time anyway, as we know, is a nightmare selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you do? Because I'm obviously spoke to him. I mean, what can you do? You've got to try and help him, haven't you?
So to be clear, after all these transactions, I never contacted him without him contacting me first. I never did that. I never broke any rules as far as I'm concerned. But it's
Amazon,
so 9 o'clock at night this happens anyway, and I've just said to him politely, "This is what you need to do. But if you contact me again, can you just go through Amazon messaging and then Amazon can see all our interactions?" Yeah, not a problem. So anyway, 6:45 a.m. the next morning, he's calling me. Right, he thinks I work 24 hours a day. This customer,
we do, don't we? Pretty much.
47, right? And he starts with this: "I'm not disturbing you, am I?" Right, I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm in bed, right, and then he's talking on the, and I go, no, it's fine. I've been up for hours, right? And then he's asking me, when is it likely to arrive? And I'm like, I was like, I haven't even done the item yet. It's not even been 12 hours since you've been asked me. So yeah, he was calling me and contacting me. So in the end, what I've just said is I've helped as much as I can. And then I've just had to block the number, and I've just said, listen, get in contact via Amazon and you can talk to me through that. So,
did you get the order?
So yeah, he put the order through, right? But that is funny, and I thought it was crazy. But then that panic sets in because Amazon, it has odd rules, and it makes its own rules up at its own time.
Well, you hear the horror stories, don't you? You hear horror stories of people getting kicked off for doing the smallest things, and you know full well that they take a very dim view of you contacting customers outside of Amazon. Because when a customer messages you and they try and give you their email address, Amazon removes it so you can't see it. Have you seen that before on a message where it says removed something or other? Yes, they really obviously don't like it because obviously they're getting commission when we sell something through Amazon, and if people start contacting customers outside of Amazon, then they don't get their commission if you're selling from them offsite.
I think what's happened, it's been a rogue Amazon person at the call center that might have not understood the rules, especially on passing numbers. I don't even know that's allowed, to be honest with you.
I'm up. Anyway, whoever that was at Amazon who gave that fella your number,
you've had that button on standby.
I've been waiting. I've been thinking every week, when can I use my boo button? When can I use the boo button? That person at Amazon, just to make sure. Oh, that was a bit different. Right, anyway, moving on, mate. Top tip of the week. Right, so we're talking customer service. So this is my top tip of the week this week. It's and this is what I saw. One of the things I meant when I said expectations, in terms of how we provide service to customers. Expectations for me is very, very important. So my top tip is make sure you set clear expectations before the purchase. So when you list something on eBay, Etsy, or Amazon, make sure that you are giving as much information as you possibly can. And bear in mind, most people do not read the descriptions. So these days, a lot of people are doing it through infographics. And I've just pulled up these two. I've literally gone on Amazon. This one's off Amazon. So this is somebody selling a t-shirt on Amazon. It's just a really very simple example of how they are making it absolutely clear what size the t-shirt is if somebody orders a t-shirt from them. And you can see just down the left-hand side of the listing picture there, they've obviously got a color chart as well, the next one down. So they're making it very clear, this is what you are going to get if you buy this size of this item. And I think that's really, obviously it's really important with clothing, but it's also important with other things. Here's one of Etsy. This is one I saw of Etsy. I think this is particularly impressive because this gift here that this seller's selling, it's obviously a wooden coaster. They get a gift card, they get a glass. So they've managed on one photo, and they've also shown on one photo how it's packaged. It's been really clear what everything's made of. It's really clear what they're getting. Dishwasher safe, the size of the glass. I mean, they're the levels now that you have to go to basically explain to customers before they buy, this is what you're going to get if you buy this. It's so important because if somebody buys something and they don't get what they thought it was, then you're going to get a comeback, aren't you?
Yeah. I've got a listing, James, where I've got the item and I've put other items next to it, everyday items. So I had a pen next to it, and I had what was it? A key fob, like a key, like a car key.
What in the photo? You mean in the photo?
Just to give relevancy of how big the item is.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I haven't put more of them ones on my listings, but I do have a size guide picture for my new listings.
Yeah, so really we're talking about size, material, what it's made of, any features that the customer's expecting it to have, make it clear what that feature is or what, even what it isn't, make sure they know what they're getting basically. So that's my top tip this week. When you're listing, try and use infographics or, other images, because you can put it in the description as much as you want. The amount of times, mate, we've sold something and we didn't have anything in the pictures, but it was in the description, and someone's come back and said, "Oh, it's smaller than I thought," or "It's bigger than I thought," and it's in the description, but they don't read it. So you've got to make it clear wherever possible. Infographics is a good way to go. Right, mate, we're going to get onto it.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble, customer service. Right, so we're going to go. What we're going to do is we're going to go through each of the selling platforms on their own. We're going to look at the main metrics that they judge us on when it comes to customer service. We're going to look at what our metrics are. And then after we've done that, we're going to look at some real life scenarios. So we're going to have a little competition. So the way we'll do it, mate, is we'll have a winner on eBay, a winner on Amazon, and a winner on Etsy. We don't do draws, do we?
We don't yet.
So there's 3 there. So someone's got to win. Now, I think
quick prediction, which you think is your strongest platform?
Oh, crikey. Probably Etsy.
You're going Etsy, right?
Yeah. What do you think? I mean, you did say...
I'm half cheating because I checked this 8 weeks ago. But not
8 weeks ago?
8 weeks ago. And
mate.
I was pleasantly surprised on my Amazon one.
Right, so you think Amazon. Right, let's get into it. Okay, first one we're going to do is Amazon. So the way we've done it, mate, is we've made it as simple as possible. So here's the board of all the metrics that we're going to write down. So it's all there. So what we've done is we made it as simple as possible. So when we say customer service metrics and ratings, it's anything that you can click into very, very easily from your seller dashboard that is related to customer service, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you are playing along at home, you can do it with us. You can find out what's ours, what's yours. So the first thing we're going to do on Amazon is the percentage. We'll do it for as long a period as possible.
Lifetime.
So if it says lifetime, we'll use lifetime. If you can only look at 12 months, we'll look at 12 months. So the first one we're going to look at is, and I've got screenshots that I took 5 minutes before this live. You're just going to tell us yours, and I'm going to trust you.
Yeah.
So Amazon, there's the main page, feedback manager. Right. So we're going to go lifetime. So in our lifetime on Amazon, as you can see there, we've got 2,146, and we're going to do it as a percentage. So what percentage of those were positive? Now they do it for you on Amazon. So you can see there that our lifetime positive feedback is 98%. So I'm going to lock that in, and I'll show you the board after when we've done all of them. 98% for us. What's yours?
Right. Not a great start. 96%.
Fantastic. Woo! Right. Just out of interest, obviously you can see on our screen there that in the last 30 days, we've had 100%. And in fact, in the last year, we've had 100%. We've not had a negative on Amazon in a year.
And guess what? And for me, it's you've beat me there, but I've had not one negative one. I've had a neutral one in a whole year. That's the worst I've performed. So one neutral in a whole year.
Yeah, I need to sort that out, mate. do you know what I want to say about Amazon? Do you know what I like about Amazon? Is if and we're not going to go into the ins and outs, but if you use Amazon by shipping, which you kind of have to in a way, again, we'll talk about it over the show. If it doesn't get there on time and the customer leaves a negative, they strike it through and they take it from the record. They say that's not the seller's fault. If the seller sends it on time and it doesn't get there on time, it's not the seller's fault. We'll strike it through. That's unusually something that Amazon does really well for the seller, I think. It takes off your metrics. Right, so that's a great start for us. Fantastic. 1-0, get in. Right, same screen. As you can see there, I'm going to take the logo off so you can see it better because I figured out how to do it. Right, buyer contact rate. So what they're saying is the lower, the better, because that percentage there is the amount of people that contact you to say that they haven't received it, or they're not happy, or they're basically not happy. They want a problem resolving. So the lower, the better. As you can see, our buyer contact rate is 0.83%.
Oh, no.
Which is fantastic. What's yours?
Oh, no.
What is it?
I don't even want to tell you.
What is it?
6.84%.
That's awful. Mate, the average is 2.31.
Right, I know.
Yours is three times worse than the average. Mate, every week I'm hearing how good your customer service is.
Right, but hang on a minute. What does that actually mean, a buyer contact?
Well, I'll show you. I've got Amazon open. I'm going to hover over it. It says here, buyer contact rate tracks contacts from buyers seeking a refund or replacement because of a product quality, fulfillment, or delivery problem related to their order.
Yeah. Right. I don't understand. Like, I don't get complaints of bad items, but I get a lot of items courier issues I have.
Well, obviously we don't. So, you got to get things out in time, haven't you?
Yeah. No, I'm not having that.
Are you shot?
I'm shot. But I don't have really bad interactions.
Right, next one. Yeah, but all it is, mate, if a customer, when you get a message from a customer, they've got to select a subject. So if they select order not received or performance of the item is inadequate, that will go towards that percentage. I would actually, if I was you, I'm not bantering out, I genuinely look into that and see what's happening. Check a subject some people contact you. Right, next one is the average contact response time. So obviously, the quicker you reply to customers, the better in the eyes of Amazon. Yeah. So our average, the amount of time it takes us on average to reply to a customer is 6.09 hours, and obviously, the lower, the better.
Right.
Yours is
7 hours.
Fantastic. That's 3-0, mate. Didn't you say Amazon was your best?
Yeah.
You said you were pleasantly surprised by Amazon, didn't you?
Oh, James, I've read it wrong. I do apologise.
What is it?
It's 15.5.
Oh.
Right. So
what I will say, mate, in your defence is you're taking, a very long time to answer people, but you are answering the phone at 6:45 in the morning.
But as well, I'm not disheartened of mine because it is below the top performing sellers. So, hang on, no, it's not.
No, mate, the average. Yeah, no, it is. So the average is 16.24. The average. Average. So you're better than the average. You're just nowhere near as good as us.
Right.
Now, what I will say is you're on your own. You're on your own. So I do the messages for us. So when we've got loads of orders to get out, Laura obviously helps with that. So you are on your own. So you are a little bit of a disadvantage there. Right. Yeah. We've got 2 more on Amazon. The buyer dissatisfaction rate. Now, this is what we spoke about earlier, how they've changed the question that they ask. So the lower the better, obviously, because you don't want people to be dissatisfied. So ours is 11.76. What's yours?
I need to see your screen. Let me see it.
I've got it there.
Buyer right. What? Right. I'm going to make a game within a game. What do you think?
What is it?
0%.
0?
Yeah.
Yours is?
It says your performance, 0%.
Fantastic. Wow, that's amazing, mate.
Now, isn't that just a contradictory of all?
No, because basically, no, it's not. Because so people are contacting you because they've got a problem. But what that's saying is you've solved it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the buyer dissatisfaction rate is that out of those 6% or whatever it was of people who contact you with a problem, when they've been asked after the interaction with you, did it solve the problem? What was customer service like on a sliding scale? Every one of your customers has said, I was happy that it got solved. That's what's happened there.
That's weird. So I've got a high contact rate,
yeah,
but I sort it perfectly.
So that tells me that your listings are you're either not, for whatever reason, they're not getting there on time, the orders, and people are contacting you, or they're not happy with what they've got because you've probably put the wrong date on it, like we talked about in week 1 of the live show. or the wrong colour, like we talked about in week 2 of the live show.
Yeah.
When they contact you, they're happy with your response. They're saying that you've solved it. Now, I'm not surprised at that, and we've got some scenarios later on where I think we're going to have massive differences.
Just to tell our audience, James, the best performing people on Amazon have 0.6. I have 0%.
No, mate, you've got that wrong. Well, it says here for mine the average is 7.36.
Oh yeah. No, but on the right that says the top performing sellers maintain.
Oh, the top performing, right? The top performing. Yeah, I haven't got that on the screen. I've not got it shown on the screen.
Basically, James,
I actually haven't got that when I open it. I can't see that on mine.
So James, basically, in a nutshell, right? Loads of people contact me. Hardly any contact you, but 1 in 10 of yours go away just completely disappointed anyway. Right.
In a nutshell, I've already won the Amazon battle. But let's just do the final one anyway, because there's something on Amazon called Voice of the Customer, and it looks like this. Now, you're not going to beat us on this one. Look at that. Basically, right? Have you got any very poor ones?
Oh, I have, yeah.
Right, so our figures are obviously there: 0, 0, 0, 1, 3, 5, 9. What are your figures? Read them from left to right.
0, 0, 2.
So you've got 2 very poor, 2 good, and the rest excellent.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad, mate, to be fair. So the voice to customer is where, and this is actually quite a little bit annoying, but Amazon does judge you on it. If a customer messages you with a problem, which obviously happens for a higher percentage of your orders than ours, as we've seen, if a customer messages you with a problem, and the bots on Amazon will read that message, and if they think, oh, this customer's not happy, they will count it against you on this voice to customer metric.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual percentages are, but if you get X amount of percentage for a certain listing where people have messaged you because they weren't happy, then you're going to be in the very poor or the neutral, whatever it is. Right, so we beat you on that one as well. So I'm just going to put, what I'll do is, mate, I think it's fair to say that what we can do, we don't even need to tot it up. You won one of them. Well done, mate. You won one of them. But I think it's fair to say that.
And I said to you, this will be the strongest one. Amazon.
I think it's fair to say that on Amazon. Let's just get this right. Okay, James wins. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Is that fair enough? Right, is that big enough? So write down the figure.
Right, come on. Our audience don't want to hear you doing this, mate. Come on.
Right, okay. My screen keeps going a bit. That's going a bit dodgy again. It'll come back in a minute. Right, here I am. Back from the light. Okay. That camera's going back in it. That's definitely 1 star. Okay. So how do eBay measure our success? Well, we'll start with feedback. There's ours. So, mate, we haven't got lifetime. We can only see 12 months on that screen that I've put there. So we'll do it on the 12 months and we'll do it as a percentage again. So I'm just going to figure out ours very quickly. So we've had 779 and 774 of them were positive. So that's 99.36% positive feedback. Right. Do you want to tell me your lifetime? How many are in total? How many positive, neutral, and negative you've got?
Yeah. So, positives in the last 12 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is 194.
Yeah.
Neutral is 0.
Yeah.
And my negatives is 1. And there's a caveat with that one.
We're in trouble.
I don't know. I need to save that story for another time.
We'll save it for another time because there's always a caveat, isn't there? There's always going to be a caveat. Right. So your positive percentage is 99.48. So you only just beat us. Obviously, we've got a couple more negatives than that, but you've got.
What did you say it was? Mine is 90.
Right, so here we go. I'll hold it up. There you go. So it's 99.36 for us, 99.48 for you. So you are.
It says 99.5 to me.
Right. Okay. Yeah, they've rounded up to the 1 decimal, haven't they?
Yeah.
I've done 2. Anyway, right. There's only really 2 other things that we can find on eBay in terms of how eBay judges us. I was disappointed with this. I think you're going to do us on eBay. So we're going to have a look at. So if you're playing along at home and you want to have a look, go to your Seller Pub dashboard, go to performance, go to service metrics. So for it to be called that, it means that eBay must put quite a bit of weight in to these towards what they think of your customer service. So we're going to go with item not as described. So these are people who've received their item and for whatever reason, when they've given feedback, they've ticked or they've suggested that it wasn't what they thought it was going to be. So the lower the better. Now our percentage is 0.21. It's 0.21. So the average is 0.2. Ours is 0.21. What's yours?
0.49.
Well, yes, we're back in the game. Okay. So
I thought it's the highest.
Joking apart, mate, and I know we're doing this for a bit of a laugh and a bit of banter, but there is a serious side to this, and there's a serious side for people watching as well. And it's this: if you look at your stats quite regularly, like what we're doing today, and you know where to find them, it can actually tell you what's going on. So just looking at your stats, it's pretty clear to me, based on what we've done so far, and we'll have a look on Etsy in a minute, that for whatever reason, so 0.49, so 0.5-ish, for whatever reason, there's more customers that you're sending orders to that are not happy when they receive it. You know, they're not sure it's not what they thought it was, for example. Well, we know that on eBay because we just talked about it, compared to us. So that tells me that, going back to this, are you setting clear enough expectations before the purchase? Is it really clear what people are getting?
I think what we've got to be careful of here, James, is because I think, yes, you are winning and your scores is a little bit better.
What was that, mate?
And your scores are a little bit up to now. But to say something, though, James, perspective, right, that is 2 orders out of 411 transactions. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you check it again, if I was you, I'd check it every month. I would put it on. I have a weekly, daily, and monthly to do.
Yeah,
I would put it on your monthly to do list to check that every month.
Yeah,
because it might, like you're right, it might be a snapshot, but it might be a consistent thing. And I know it's only 2 out of, say, 400, but if it's 2 out of 400 every month, that's still, bear in mind the average is 0.2.
Yeah.
That's still more than double the average. And what will happen is, I actually don't know if it affects your visibility on eBay. I don't think it does unless it's really, really bad. So the zones there, isn't it? There's red, amber, and green. I think if you creep into the red, it will start definitely affecting your visibility. So you've got to keep an eye on it. What I was going to say on the other side of that, though, mate, is something for me to look at is we don't solve problems like you do. So when customers contact you, as we saw on Amazon, they're not as happy as when you get back to them. So, there's what I'm saying is you can dig into the stats, and if you start tracking it on a monthly basis, you might start seeing patterns that can actually really, really help your customer service standards and maybe tweak how you do things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, you're right. It is a snapshot, but if you do it every month.
This is really good because I'm preparing the next slide, and the next one is, I think we're getting to the reasons where there might be like a little bit of a weak link with me. So it's good to do this.
Yeah. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. Right. This is the decider, mate, because this is the last one on eBay. At the minute, it's 1-1.
Yeah.
The feedback, we won the not as described. I think I know the way this is going, because the last metric on eBay that is quite important is the item not received. So if somebody's reported they haven't received it. So this is us. That's us there. We are at 1.08%, which, to be honest, is not great because we're above average, which isn't great. What's yours?
Wait, you're killing me here. Mine's 2%, so I'm quite high.
There you go. We'll see. This is what I mean. We're seeing patterns, aren't we? Now you're saying it's a snapshot, and I agree with you, but you've got to recognise that you're getting the same patterns on eBay as what you had on Amazon.
Yeah, and it's it's a real straight. I don't know what. I'll have to really have a good look at this, because for me, I feel like I get my items out all the time on time, but for whatever reason or what I'm doing, it's saying that the customer's saying we're not.
Yeah. So if you're watching and you sell on any of these platforms, I think what we're demonstrating, hopefully, is it's worth just checking these stats, because it might give you an idea of something that's going on. So for whatever reason, your items are not getting there as quickly or as on time as much as ours. Therefore, you're getting more people contact you. And on the other side of the foot, we're not solving problems to the extent that what you are when they do contact you. Now, my question to that, Ro, would be, and we'll come on to it later, is what cost is it to you that you're solving those problems? The customer might be happy that you've solved it, but is that because you're going to send replacements next day? Or, I mean, we'll come on to it. We'll come on to it. Right. So what we'll do, mate. So I'm sorry, mate, I have to do this to you. So Amazon, we've done. eBay, it was a 2-1. It was close. Listen, you won one of them. But now I can't write it as big on this one because the section isn't as big. But can you see that all right?
Yeah, well, I'm not even looking. I'm on my own stats. This is terrible.
Right. Let's go.
This is your strongest.
I believe it's our strong. Right, Etsy's really easy. So if you sell on Etsy, you go to your seller dashboard, and down the left-hand side they make it really easy. There's just a section that says customer service stats, and if you click into it, you see this. So there's ours. And what I like about the Etsy one is it tells you underneath your own stat, it tells you what their standards are, what they expect, and it's really clear. So if you look at, for example, the message response rate, there's our percentage, 99%. And underneath that, it says the service standard that you're expected to meet. And then the one underneath that is the star seller target. Now, Etsy do say that if you don't meet the service standard, which I think is quite easy, then it affects your visibility and they will stop showing your listings as much. So it's definitely worth checking on these. But what I will say, if you're not meeting these standards, you're definitely doing something wrong. You need to have a look at yourself. Right. There's 4 of them. And we're also going to look at actually it's there, isn't it, the average review rating. Right. So there's 4 of them on Etsy. So as you can see, our message response rate is 99%. Now that always confuses me because I always think that we respond to messages within 24 hours. So I don't know where the 1% comes from, if I'm honest. What's your message response rate?
96%.
There you go. Another pattern, isn't it? And I'm going to pull you up on something in a minute that you let slip last week.
What was that?
I'm going to pull you up in a minute. Right, on-time dispatch and tracking. Ours is 98. What's yours?
98.
98, so that's level. Now, for us, we dispatch everything on time. So that there is the tracking that's bringing ours down 2%. So basically, if you sell on Etsy and you send, if you're in the UK and you sell something that's over 10, I don't know if it's $10 or £10. I think it's, I don't know which one around it is. But anyway, if you sell something that's over, let's say £10 and you send it without tracking, that goes against you on that metric. Now we send everything without tracking as standard, and then we offer tracking upgrades. And most of the stuff we sell is under a tenner. I know you're the same, but occasionally we'll sell something over a tenner and it'll get sent untracked. So that's what's bringing that down for us. And I think you're probably the same. Would you agree?
Yeah. I do, yeah.
Because you're telling me that you send everything on time.
But I think if it's a large letter, I think does it need to be tracked?
No.
I actually don't. I don't know that.
I don't know rules.
I don't really I don't really have anything that's sent late. So
do you sell anything that's over a tenner ever?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it'll be because everything you send is untracked, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, it's untracked.
That's what that'll be. Yeah, so we'll look into that in a minute. I'll show you the rules in a minute. Right. So it's 1-0. We won the first one. That one was level. Average review rating. Ours is 4.9. Yours?
4.9.
4.9. Right. Case rate 0. The lower the better for case rate. What's yours?
0%. And by the way, I have never had it. I don't think I've ever had a case on Etsy before.
You definitely have. I'll tell you why. I bet you don't know where they are.
Oh no, you're right. You've shown me this actually, and I know I have. Yeah, we did this.
Right. Well, this is important for people who don't know. To find your cases on Etsy, you go into your dashboard, you go down to help, which is ridiculous. We've got one in there now. We've got one in there now. I didn't know about. Right. So you go down to help and you click your cases, and in there you will find any cases that people have raised against you. And the reason you might not know about it is because they don't really make a big song and dance about it. Etsy, they will send you an email to the email address that you registered with, but you might miss that because you get so many emails of Etsy, don't you, telling you dispatched items and all sorts that you probably delete it. So in there you will see any cases that are open and any that have been closed. We've got one in there now. Item not received. It's always item not received, isn't it, for cases? Have you noticed?
Yeah. Well, you showed me last time, and I was like, I didn't even know this existed.
There is a little bit of protection though for sellers on Etsy. So if you do get a case raised against you, don't panic. Just reply to it as you would normally reply to a message. Just explain what's happened, put your point of view across, and then Etsy basically make a decision. They either say it's fine, there's nothing wrong here, you're not getting anything to the customer, or they will say to the customer, yeah, we'll give you a refund, and they'll decide to give it either out of Etsy funds or out of the seller funds, and it depends on the circumstances. But we'll go into that in another show. That's a whole other show, really, like cases and that sort of stuff. Right, I'm really sorry to tell you this, mate, but by the slimmest of margins, because of this one here, which we won, and all the others were level. But because we won this one, technically, you know what's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah.
And do you know what this does for me?
Gives you the W, mate, doesn't it?
This gives me not only does it give. Well, I say me, it's me and Laura. There's two of us. I'm taking all the credit. So, officially, after listening to you for months tell me about how amazing your customer service is, it gives me finally a chance to press this button.
I am holding on to that. When there's a problem, I'm like the fixer of my company.
You're the fixer.
I'm the person you call to solve a problem when a customer's not happy. Not you.
Hey, yeah, listen.
1 in 10 go, is he being serious?
Well, here's the thing. Everyone out there, if you order from Paul, you know full well it might not get there in time, but if it doesn't, he will fix it for you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, we joke, but I think it is important to keep a check on your customer service stats, because you never know when something's gonna tip into the red, and also you can see patterns emerging. So for you need to focus on making sure everything's out on time. I mean, I don't know what's going on there, because you say you do send everything on time. I personally would try and reply to messages a little bit sooner, and this is what I'm going to pull you up on.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to pull you up on. Last week, you said on this live that when we were in Italy living it up with Irish Tommy, our mate Irish Tommy, who you've upset this week.
Yeah.
You said that you had a message from an eBay customer, and because you were in Italy, you couldn't reply. That's not true, is it?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
Well, you could reply.
Well, how?
You can reply to anyone on your phone.
I don't have the seller. Your advice to me ages ago was delete the app. And just don't have it on your phone if you're always checking it. Let it take.
That's because you sell the same stuff as us, and I want people to buy from us when they see you.
I remember we were actually on a golf course when we used to play, and you said, "Mate, I'd get rid of that because you're always checking."
Right. Here's another top tip for you, Paul. Being serious now, right? You're right. That's fair enough. Get rid of the app. There are functions on all. I think there's on all three. There's definitely functions on eBay and Etsy. I'm not sure about Amazon, where you can select for. It's called auto reply. So you can push a button and you can put in there like a template standard reply. And what it does is every time you get a message, if you go on a holiday, for example, for the weekend in Italy, what it will do is if somebody messages you, it will automatically send them a response, and it will send them the response that you put in. So for example, before we went on holiday, you could have activated that function on eBay, and you could have put in like a message saying, "Thanks for your message. I'm away this weekend, in Italy, getting my head kicked in by hooligans at the Palmer Road game."
Another story.
and unfortunately, I'm not able to get back to you, but I will get back to you on Monday morning. And if there are any issues, I'll solve them for you. So,
did I say that was for Amazon, by the way?
eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was eBay. It was eBay because you said you had a negative, and he turned it into a positive.
No, so it was Etsy. I can see.
Oh, it was Etsy. Right. Well, you can do Etsy as well. You can do it on Etsy as well. Yeah. So if you're going away, I probably wouldn't do it for a week because that's a bit long. But if you're going,
there's the thing that just stopped you there, James. So when the customer contacted, it did give that message to say it's not in my business hours.
Oh, it did.
It did. So it did, but he just said all he did was he hasn't been in contact.
And he still gave you a negative. Ouch. Moving on. Right, if you have followed along and you've watched it back, have a look at your own stats and let us know what they are. Because as you can see, and if you're not sure, we are full-time online sellers. So we know what we're doing. But I'm looking at this one here, and we're worse than the average on eBay, and we're worse than the average on this one. So let us know, because that surprised me a little bit, because I thought we were pretty good. So let us know what yours are. Have you beat us? Have you got 0% by dissatisfaction rate like Paul? Or are yours shocking? Let us know about any customer service stories as well, because there's always something funny going on with, especially Amazon customers. Bloody hell, they're the worst, aren't they, mate? They're a nightmare.
Well, do you know what, mate? I'm seeing the tide slowly change on that, to be honest with you. I'm actually getting nice messages on there as well sometimes, more than I used to.
Well, I tell you what, mate. It's funny you say that, because I'm noticing that too. And we've made one change recently that I think has had a difference on Amazon more than anywhere else, right? Very quickly, because we're going to get onto some scenarios in a minute, and they look like this, and we're going to basically respond. We're going to mention how we would respond to them. But what we've done is, so when a customer orders from us and we send it out to them, we've always put a little thank you card, like a little tiny, like a business card size, just a piece of card with our logo, a little bit of text saying thank you for ordering from us, for supporting our small business, blah, blah. Just recently, we've got a picture of ourselves on it. We've put a picture of us with our dog, Dougie, and I think on Etsy it's just the same, but on Amazon, I definitely feel like people have been kinder when they've been asking, "Where's the item?"
Can I chip in where I slightly disagree, and I think I know why? When Amazon was,
you can, and then I'll tell you that you're wrong.
Okay, so years ago, when like Amazon, you get messages off people on Amazon, they were quite rough and they were direct and they were quite rude sometimes.
Yeah,
I think it was because people, when they were contacting Amazon, thought that Amazon, they were only buying off Amazon, not individual sellers like ourselves. And I think as Amazon's gone on, people have realized, no, these are individual sellers, human beings.
Yeah,
I think that's what, because look at Etsy. Etsy customers are lovely.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. We're kind of agreeing in a way, because I think there's still people out there think they're buying off Amazon. But when they get our card with our picture on it, I just think it's more relatable. I just think it's more relatable. People, they might not even read it if it's just text. But if it's got a picture, I think they're more likely to understand that it's a small family business they're buying from. That's my take on it anyway. And I do all of our messages, and I agree with you. I've noticed a slight shift on Amazon. Anyway, right, scenario 1. So how would you deal with this? Customer orders, forget where it is, forget whether it's in Amazon or Etsy. Customer places an order with you. They select free standard second-class delivery. So they just pay for the order and leave. They don't upgrade. So they select the free standard second-class delivery. Then after they've ordered, right, they message you asking if you can get it there quicker. So let's say they've ordered and it's meant to be there for next week on Thursday, and they message you saying, "Oh, I really need it for Tuesday. Can you send it me for Tuesday?" What do you do?
Right. What I do is, because I have 1 to 2 handling days on my thing, if it's meant to be officially sent out the next day, what I do is when I get that message, I bump it up and send it out. I just make it as a priority. And then I keep the same postage, so I'm not paying any difference, but I'm making it as a priority.
So you basically send it out. You send it out sooner, is what you said, than what you would.
This situation's happened this week. This weekend, a customer says, "I'm going to a wedding. I need these coasters. Can you get me them out as soon as possible?" So it didn't have to be dispatched till the Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I got the message on the Sunday or the Monday morning. So I'm going to send it today for you.
So you send it sooner, and do you tell them that you're going to send it sooner? Do you message them back?
Yes, I'll go.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll get this out today, and I'll make this order a priority.
Interesting. Right. So on your listings, do you offer delivery upgrades? Do you offer first class?
I don't know.
Right. Well, for me, that's the difference. And this is what I was talking about earlier when I said expectations and communication. Well, so just to be clear, you would send it soon. So you would basically do what they asked for. You'd send it sooner, and you would tell them that you sent it sooner. Right. In that same scenario, and this is where I think we're a little bit controversial, but so in that scenario, we would not send it sooner, and we would message them back, basically telling them that. So first of all, though, we offer delivery upgrades. So when somebody orders from us, we offer free standard delivery, but if they want to, they can pay extra for first class, or they can even pay for special next day. It's a lot of money, but they can. Now, whether they see it or not, that is a different matter, to be fair, and that's something we'll talk about another week. So if somebody orders from us, my opinion is, if they had a chance to upgrade the delivery and they didn't do that, and then they message us asking for us to almost upgrade it for them, whether it's sending it sooner or whether it's sending it by first class, I sort of say, no. Now, listen, I'm nice about it. I'm really nice about it. And I say, our thing is we have so many orders, mate, so many orders that to stop what we're doing and bump somebody up the queue, like sort of what you said you do, it might mean that I have to go and make it quickly. I'm putting it ahead of all the rest of the dispatch because we've got certain processes in place. And the amount of requests that we get asking for us to send it sooner like that, where they didn't pay for the upgrade themselves, it would actually, what would happen to us is if we agreed to every one of those requests, it would completely disrupt our processes and everything would be slowed down.
Yeah.
Certainly during busy times, we wouldn't be able to get as much out on top. We'd end up doing ourselves a disservice, and we'd have to end up sort of just delaying other orders. So basically, we're just really honest. We say, really sorry, these were available during the order process. You didn't select them, and due to the number of orders we process, we will send it out as soon as we can. But because of the number of requests we get, for fairness, we send everything out in the order we receive them. So the way we approach that is completely different to you, which is interesting, isn't it? Because more customers, as we saw with the stats, more customers message you with a problem after they place an order, or say they've had a problem than us. So interesting. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I think if it didn't disrupt our working processes, we would probably do the same as you. Probably.
Yeah. To be a little bit fair, I understand yours, and I think if I was as big as an operation as you, I would probably do the same. But I don't really get a lot of their messages. And if I'm being really honest, if they've got the time to help the customer out, I'm likely to go and do it. And especially if they're just in a pickle and they're being really polite. And I think that really helps too. So I don't really mind, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, if it doesn't affect you in any other way, I think you do it, don't you? But for us, that would affect us. It would come because the number of people ask it. And for me, consistency is key. If we're saying yes to one customer, it wouldn't sit right with me to say no to others. And for me, it is about consistency. And also, you don't know what people are going to put in their reviews. So if we said yes to somebody and they were really happy, they might put in their review, I asked them to send it out early and they did. Do you know what I mean? Now, if somebody else who we replied to, who we said we couldn't do that for, reads that, they're not going to be happy, are they? So I like to be consistent. So that's my issue as well, because my question to you is, if it's Christmas time and you're doing your 20 hours a day or whatever, you're 18 hours a day, and somebody asks that, do you still do it?
It's hard to answer the future, but I'd likely say.
I mean,
I would. I think my personality. If I get the message, I read it ahead of time. I'm probably just going to do it for them. I'll probably bend it. Now, where it does affect me, and I noticed this a few times, is I've got to alter the way I do it then and disrupt my own system. So because they want it early, I have to make it early. I'll have to print the label in a different slot than normal. It disrupts the process of what I do daily. So I probably would, but it'd be a bit of a pain in the backside.
I think the point is it does disrupt your process. You've probably got slightly less orders than us, so it disrupts things probably a little bit less.
Yeah.
Let's say. Here's the final question on that before we move on, because we need to move on, mate. It's dragging on a bit. So much to talk about, isn't there, when it comes to customer service? Just on that, if you offered first class delivery and you got that same request, so they had an opportunity to pay the extra quid for first class delivery, they didn't bother, and then they've asked you to send it earlier, would you respond in the same way?
No, and the reason is there's a reason why I definitely wouldn't, because then there is customers that naturally buy the first class postage, so they'd be peed off with me if they knew that really Absolutely. They could bypass that process by just asking nicely. They'll go, but we've paid the excess. So in fairness, it would change. And to be honest with you, it's always my excuse, but it is important, is that I'm on my own. So really, if I could just tighten up the service and offer first class postage, one, I'd make more money.
Mate, honestly, it's so quick to do though.
And two,
so quick.
Yeah, and two, I would it would solve that problem of getting questions. And also, when you get the messages saying, "Can you get this out quickly to us?" and it always does say at the end of it, "I'm willing to pay more."
But it's so quick to add a first-class delivery option into eBay. Well, eBay and Etsy. Forget Amazon for a minute. A whole other ball game. We always say something like that. Well, you could do it tonight in probably 10 minutes. You could do it in 10 minutes. Now we need to move on. We will have a look at it, and we might do it on here one week because it's really easy to do. Right, scenario 2. Right, a customer's left a 1-star review saying it hasn't been delivered, but you haven't heard from them. So they've ordered from you. Let's say they've ordered free untracked delivery, right? So you don't know if it's been delivered or not. So they've ordered it with untracked delivery. So you've not heard a dicky bird out of them. Next thing you know, you've looked on Etsy or eBay, whatever it is, and there's a 1-star review saying we haven't received the item. What do you do?
Right. So I'm annoyed at that. I hate that. First of all, I don't contact the customer at all.
You don't? That surprises me because I thought you would.
No process on this. I go to the platform first, and I'll go, can I dispute this? Can I refute it? Then that. Now eBay, they'll go, just send out a request to change, and I'll do that. Now once I've exhausted all my possibilities for the platform to delete it, then I go to the customer.
Right. My experience is it's never going to get changed by the platform. My experience. By the way, that request that you just talked about on eBay, that request goes to the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll say, open this request case. And when I first did it, I thought, oh, eBay are listening to me. They're going to look at this. But all it was it basically means I've got to send a request to the customer to remove it. So that surprised me because, the way we deal with this has changed. I'm the same as you, mate. I used to see that, and I used to contact the customer, and I used to say, look, you've left us a 1-star review, a little bit disappointed because we've not heard anything from you. We haven't had the opportunity to resolve it, but let us know if it's not here by such and such, and we'll send a replacement. Now, I stopped doing that because the amount of times the customer would actually be quite nice, reply to us, and they'd say, oh, yeah, sorry, I left a 1-star review. Oh, okay, great. It's not here by tomorrow. I'll let you know. And then tomorrow would come. They'd let us know. We'd send a replacement, and they wouldn't change the review. We'd still have a 1-star review against us, and we will have made less of a profit or even a loss because we've had to send the item twice. Now, that I'm like you, mate. It annoys me because just contact us. It's in all of the. So on Etsy, when somebody orders from us, and you'll be the same, they automatically get a message from us, and part of that message says, if there's any problems, let us know. Just contact us. So it's just, I think it's rude, don't you?
Yeah, I do take pride on. So on eBay, I have one bad review, and that was, and I solved the problem, and then I said, could you please change it now? If that helped you. And the customer actually said, and it's on messages. I will change it, but what are you going to give me? Well,
there you go. Well, that's against the rules. So you've got to be careful with that. You've got to be careful. So you're not allowed to ask people to change their review. Let me rephrase that. You can ask, but it's the way that you ask. Yeah. So you can say something like, obviously, you've got to know that the problem's been resolved. So you could say something like, hi, I'm really glad you've received the item now. This is what was in our control. This is what we did about it. Unfortunately, it not arriving in the first place was out of our control. We politely request that you consider your review and whether it needs updating or not. You can sort of say that. What you can't do is contact them and say, we want you to change your review.
Well, this is it though, James, is because I was on the phone because you laughed at me when I'm telling you. I rang up eBay and you said it's just a waste of your time, mate. So I rang up eBay and they said, yeah, you've done everything, yeah. Just we'll let you contact them, they've said. And then they've sent the message saying, yeah, well, what are you going to give me? So then I thought, yes, I've got you, because you're not allowed to change, to say to the seller, I'll change it if you give me something. That's manipulation. So I then contacted eBay and they said that is breaking the rules.
Yeah.
However, we're still not going to change it.
Not going to do anything. No. This is right. Yeah. So anyone new to selling or is about to start selling, one of the things that I found difficult to get my head around, and the sooner you get your head around it, the better, is that it's not fair, is it? eBay, Amazon, Etsy, things will happen to you as a seller. You will get bad reviews. You will get customers kicking off, and not within your control at all. You will get all sorts of things going on, and they will not do a thing about it. They will not change reviews for you. They will not ban the customer from buying from you. They won't do anything. So, I could not believe that when I first started selling online. Amazon's the worst, but so you need to get your head around the fact that things are going to happen to you that aren't fair, and sometimes you just need to move on. That's fair, isn't it, mate? That's fair to say that, because it happens all the time. It's you don't get as much protection as a seller as what you should. Anyway, moved on a bit. Last scenario. Right, customer orders again. They've selected the free delivery. They message one day after it's supposed to arrive, asking where it is. What do you do?
Right, I have something that's giving me good success at the moment. So when I get that email, I send a really friendly email. I introduce myself. I tell them that I'm a one-person seller. I make a list.
You must chat, mate. You must chat GPT that. You're writing that message out from fresh every time.
No. I made that one standard one, if that makes
sense. You've got like a template. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
So okay. It is. Go on. Yeah. I crack a joke that the couriers make my hair go grey, and that's the reason for it. And what I do, and the reason I do that is I want to show that I'm human. I'm trying my best. I'm on my own, and I am on their side, and it is frustration. And it's frustrating for me as well that I paid for the courier. It's not arrived. And
hang on, mate. Where's this file in button? Hang on.
I've asked for. I asked for a little bit
somewhere. Gotta be. Go on, sorry.
And then I asked for a little bit of patience. And do you know what? They were like, the message response I've got from that has been brilliant. And also, they don't just say, yes, okay, we'll wait a few days. They actually get back in touch to tell me that it's arrived, and thank you so much and appreciate it. Where on Amazon, once they get it, they'll never message you back.
No, yeah.
But they do with this one.
How long do you give it before you? So if we get that same message, my standard response is obviously really sorry to hear you haven't got it yet, etc., etc. Unfortunately, it's out of our control. If it's still not there by the end of, and I normally say 3 days after the estimated delivery date, then we'll send you a replacement.
I say, please, could you allow 1 to 2 days extra?
1 to 2 days extra, yeah. Well, they'll probably allow one, then, won't they?
Yeah. So, and I am basic. And do you know what? A few of the responses have been is, that's fine. We'll give it to the end of the week.
Yeah. Well, by the way, technically, online good practice, if they've selected free untracked delivery, that item is only considered not lost in the post if it still hasn't arrived 10 working days after the estimated delivery. So you're not really obliged to do anything until 2 weeks after the estimated delivery if it's free untracked delivery. And it was clear to them that that's what it was. So I think we both go above and beyond there. I think the sellers out there who are similar to us, but I think the sellers who probably just stick to that and say you've got another 2 weeks, yeah. And Etsy themselves don't now pay out refunds if anyone raises a case for order not received, unless it's 7 days after the estimated delivery date. It used to be 3, but it's now 7 because they're probably getting so fed up with paying all the refunds out.
Amazon make my life harder because I always get an email saying, I've not received my item, but Amazon have said to us it's been delivered. And I'm like,
that's all mail, isn't it?
And I said, I do apologize. It's just I think this is a glitch because it actually can't track the courier service that I'm using.
Our questions, mate. Need to get going. Right. Talking of customer service, which customers are the most demanding? eBay, Etsy, or Amazon? Right. You can write, yeah. Go on then. Put what you think. I think we've got the same one.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if, Amazon. Oh, God, bloody hell. And it's for me, it's the reason we discussed earlier. Some of them still think they're ordering from Amazon and not from a small business.
I think they're ordering from Jeff, don't they?
Yeah, and on Etsy that you can put, there's little sections, isn't there, where you can put photos of yourself. There's a about us section. I know there's A+ content on Amazon, which we'll talk about another time, but a lot of people don't use it. Right, okay. Second question. Now here's what we've just been talking about a little bit. Which selling platform provides us, the sellers, with the best customer service? If you've got a problem as a seller, which one is best? Which one is more likely, do you think, to listen to you and do something about it? Now, I think they're all a waste of space, but I think for me, there is a clear winner. I'm not sure what
I've got a controversial one. Controversial. Actually, I don't know.
Hurry up. Bloody hell. World Cup will be starting in a minute. Amazon, interesting. Amazon.
It's right. The reason is I don't really get I don't really get many messages from Etsy that I need to require the support. I get loads off Amazon, and a lot of them just already get struck through even before it gets to me.
Oh, you mean on the review like we spoke about earlier? Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, that's fair enough, actually. That's a feature on Amazon that I do really like. We discussed it earlier, didn't we? Right, final one. Is the customer always right?
Can we swear?
Funny you should say that. That's pretty fun. I mean, mine's probably slightly more polite than you. They're not, are they? I mean, listen, we try our best, don't we? And do you know what I'll say, mate? Most customers you don't hear from. They don't leave a review. They never message you. And they're the ones you forget about. The ones who you get the order, you send it out, they receive it, they're happy with it. You don't hear from them. There's no review. And that's the vast majority, isn't it? But if you are new to selling online, you just got to have a thick skin, because I tell you what, we have a customer of the week section, and I've got some in mind for the last few weeks. I might bring them up, even though it's not going to be that specific week. I'm going to bring them up in future weeks, because some of them are just, there's no other word to say it. They're stupid. Stupid. That's something to look forward to. Stupid customer of the week.
I'd love it if one of your customers just clicked on just right now.
Hey, I would love to get one of them on here one day. I'd love to get one of them on here. Anyway, talking of that, we haven't done enough promotion, mate. We need to let people know. Now, if you are a fellow online seller and you're just starting out on eBay, Amazon, and Etsy, we are full-time. If you want to know a little bit more about us, go back to the first show, because we share a little bit of our sales history, don't we? And we explain who we are, what we're doing here. But we are here every week talking about specific things about selling on those platforms. So if you do want to join in, like and subscribe, and it'll just give you a notification of when we're on. If you've got any questions as well, or any comments about any of the things we've talked about today, like how would you deal with those three scenarios we've just talked about? Do you think we're being unfair to customers in some scenarios? Because some of them, might be a little bit controversial. Then let us know. Let us know in the comments. Now, next week, mate, we've had a chat about this, haven't we? We're going to start. So what we're going to do is every other week, we're going to get into the nitty gritty of how to list things, because a lot of people want to know, how do you write titles? What tags do you put in Etsy? How do you write descriptions and all that sort of stuff? And like we said before, we're not here to tell people what to do, but what we can do is tell them how we do it. So next week, we are going to talk product listing titles. It is the biggest real estate on your listing for SEO. That has changed slightly, but it is still the biggest part of your listing, which will attract visibility. So it's really, really important that you try and get your product titles right. Otherwise, you are swimming against the tide, aren't you? So that's going to be a really interesting one, because I actually don't even know how you write your product titles. And I don't think we've had a discussion about it for ages, have we?
We haven't as well. And the scary thing about it is it's just a hard topic as well, mate. And there's loads of it. Would you say it's objective or subjective how to write?
I think most people will say it's objective, because they will tell you that they know how to do it the right way. But as we will discuss next week, I think there's lots of different ways of doing it, and you've just got to find your own consistent way.
Yeah.
But we will look at that next week. Anyway, mate, big news.
Go on.
The World Cup's here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Do you know what, mate? Not as much as I used to. I don't know why. Not feeling it. Are you? Are you?
Yeah, I can't wait. Well, this time next week, we'll be celebrating an England win, won't we?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
We'll be on it next week, waving our flags, wearing our shirts, get in there, Harry Kane, all that business. Who do you
think we're going to get knocked out on by penalties?
Well, probably Germany, won't it?
Yeah, semi-final.
Germany penalties, or Spain on penalties. Definitely be on penalties.
Yeah, penalties.
Yeah, 0-0, penalties out. Flags away, shirts off. World Cup's rubbish.
Football's terrible. Yeah.
Right, anyway, mate, we need to finish. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join us next week to see how we write our product listing titles on eBay, Etsy, and Amazon. We're going to do all three. We're going to be very, very clear about how we do it. And what we're also going to do is we're going to go into Etsy, into eBay, and into Amazon themselves. And we're going to have a look at other people's titles and discuss those as well and see what we think about theirs. But thank you very much for joining us this week. We really do appreciate it. We are new. We don't know what we're doing. We're trying our best. If you've got any questions or comments, please do let us know. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.